We're going to be folding these clothes today. I have here a lot of, cotton fabrics. You see, the last time I folded this stuff was about a year ago. The more we sew, the more we keep having, rest pieces like this. And I have been struggling for so long to actually find a solution for it. I used to keep them in some cartons, and it was just getting a little bit complicated for me. The carton doesn't look so presentable and stuff like that. Today, I was able to get something like this, a very big plastic rubber with covers. The problem with the carton was that there was no cover. I wish I could raise the carton up, but I cannot. But now, this is the best solution I have found. I'm going to go ahead, fold all these pieces of clothes, and generally just, gist with you guys. I don't think I'll be able to finish folding, but I'm just going to gist with you guys a little bit and, kind of catch base with you guys, because I have not been making content of this on this channel for so long because of different situations of life. Sometimes you have time, you are pumped up, and you say to yourself, now I want to start doing YouTube all over again. It's exactly what happened. I used to think that I'm going to have a lot of time to, keep sewing non-stop, showing you guys the behind the scene of what I do with my sewing machine. But once in a while, you start out, and before you know what's going on, something gets in the way, and you just realize that you do not have time anymore. These are premium cotton fabrics. Like I said, 100% cotton fabric. If you are looking at making pillow covers, this, my friends, is going to be the best that you can actually, think of. We've got different colors. This was something I started, many years ago. It took me time to figure out the logic, which is making pillow covers and selling them on a platform like eBay. It took me so long to finally figure it out. When I finally figured it out, I kept the formula. I went ahead. I even developed a little manual for you to learn exactly how to sew, but people didn't respond to that manual well enough. But I just kept doing my thing, which is selling my pillow covers and making money off, selling it. Of course, if you want to sell stuff like this online, something you also have to factor into the equation is that, yes, they're going to be competitors, people that are going to come to the market with their goods, in this case pillow covers, at so cheap price, and you have to fight with them. Exactly what I also did, and I also had a formula, for countering that. The best thing you want to do is to focus on quality, because in the market right now for pillow covers, there are different qualities out there, but I am yet to see a quality like this that I have in my hands. Premium cotton, 100% cotton fabric in different colors. This is yellow, looking as clean as it can actually get. The beautiful thing is that the colors are all looking even, not like a station where you see a yellow fabric like this and somewhere you see it fading off and stuff like that. No, we do not have that here. And this right here, I believe, is wine red. These are rest fabric. I'm going to be doing stuff with this as we move the channel, forward. Talking about moving the channel, yes, there are so many ideas that I have. Sometimes I'm thinking of reacting to sewing videos, because truth be said, if I want to sit here and begin to make different kind of sewing lessons, there are already a lot of videos, on YouTube, on TikTok, to show you guys how to do a lot of stunts. Once in a while, of course, if I have fabrics like this, I can actually go ahead and use them to show you one or two tricks or tricks and tips of sewing. But I feel like, going in direction of reacting to sewing videos will make the channel a little bit more entertaining. It will bring more and more people to the channel, instead of just simply making how to fix collars and stuff like that. I'm just thinking within myself, but if you've got any idea what you want me to be doing with this channel, it's kind of painful to have a decent channel like this. We do not have a lot of subscribers, but the few subscribers that are here, they're actually waiting, for content. And when content are not being pushed out, it's kind of not the best. People subscribe basically because they want to see, content, sewing content, all right? And I'm trying to build a community right here, and I feel like if I'm reacting to these videos, because truth be said, there are a lot of sewing tips and tricks. Why I keep mixing that word? Oh, there's a little stain here. It happens because All these fabrics were kept in a carton and there's no cover. Sometimes something could fly inside and just, stain it, but that's not going to be the case anymore because I have gotten the ultimate solution. I'm just going to fold them up and make sure that the box is covered and it's going to be free from dust. It's going to be free from every other kind of there was also a time I was making sport bags, guys. We're going to be talking about these gists at some other time on this channel. You see, if you go online, you're going to see a lot of stuff, people telling you, sew to sell, and they propose you all manner of stuff. Even though those items that are being proposed to you, I find it interesting. You can actually sew them, sell them. Honestly, if you want to start a sew to sell business, first of all, in my humble opinion, I really do think if you specialize in one or two aspects of sewing, that will be your best bet. Of course, people have different, this is a polyester fabric I was using for the sport bags. I also had a lot of colors and everything was working until I realized that if you want to really succeed sewing to sell, you are better off. Perhaps your experience might be different. Let me know about it in the comment section. You are better off if you focus on just one aspect, of sew to sell. I am focused entirely on just pillow covers. There used to be a time I would do pillow covers, I would do bed sheets, I would do tablecloths, I would do sport bags. At the end of the day, it just became a little bit clumsy because I was working alone. Of course, if you have help, definitely you can outsource a lot of the stuff. You can get people to come around, sew for you, and it makes things easy. But if you are just a one-man operation, my humble advice, judging from my experience, is that you are better off if you focus on just one aspect. And when I focused on one aspect, unfortunately, I lost a lot of money because I had invested money testing out every other thing. The sport bag, I used to make the bucket hat also, to sell them. I wasted a lot of money trying to figure out all these business processes, but then I realized that me focusing on just making pillow covers, was going to be my best bet. And ever since, I have simply just retired to sewing pillow covers. And my beautiful machine, the Yuki machine right there, has been doing a very good job in making sure that things are done correctly. This is red right here, looking very, very clean. I really love this red. It's one pillow covers that we also sold, but it wasn't one color that was particularly very interesting. Even though personally, I find the contrast between red and white to be very, very good. But this is one fabric that I would say this is the best fabric I actually have here. All right. So I was sewing these things and I realized that focusing on one aspect is the best way to go. Ever since I have learned to focus, things are pretty much, been working very good. I stopped losing money. A long time ago, I would be so confused because I had different aspects going on. I stopped losing money. My processes became more streamlined. Now, if somebody goes ahead to my online shop, which is on eBay or my website, and orders something, it's very easy for me to say, okay, they have ordered pillow covers in a particular size. It's very easy for me to just quickly produce it, and ship it out. But before then, I would be so confused. Somebody ordered, what do you call it, a sport bag. Where's the measurement for sport bag? I do not have this. It was just a lot of hassle. Right now, I have all my tools in place. I have the zippers, which is pretty much all I need, just the zippers. I don't have to be dealing with different parts. Just have the zippers. Somebody orders particular size, 50 by 50 centimeter. Boom, I'm going to go ahead and just create it and make sure that it's centered. This is sky blue, guys, looking a very decent, color. So this box right here is going to be a game changer for me. It's going to change the whole game and make sure that, things are actually well kept and protected. Hopefully, I don't know when I'm going to be sorting through this again, but I believe that's going to be a long time. The last time I fixed this box, these are some of the parts for the sport bags, and some of these things kind of annoyed me that they were all tangling up. I didn't like stuff like this anymore. I had different variations. You know, this is something I did back in the days, but all these are going to be thrown away or donated to somebody. Somebody is interested, you know. And yeah, this is, when I see stuff like this, I do not regret it because it is part of the journey. Sometimes before you become that expert that can sew to sell, you know, you have to pass through different learning curves. And some of the learning curves that you'll be passing through would entail that you lose money. It's just part of the process. Unfortunately, we are living a time where people no longer want to lose money learning a new trade. There's just no trade you are going to learn today where you do not have to put money up front. People are so easily carried away with the narrative on YouTube for telling you they will teach you how to make money without you having to spend money. That's a big fat lie, because there's just no way it's going to be possible. You're going to learn how to do something and do it very good without having to spend a lot of money, learning how the thing works. Yellow again. And slowly my box is getting full. I'm not going to finish it because right now I feel like I want to take a break and get some rest. This is black. Hopefully come back to it again. And this was one of my best blues. Azure blue is what I call this, and pretty much what the market calls it. Decent color, and that's right here. It's kind of brownish, light brown or something like that. And the colors just keep going on and on and on. Like I said, I'm going to be stopping the video here and just do every other thing behind the scene. This is anthracite, one good color I sold a lot and I'm still selling. Anthracite is one color that goes very well with so many type of bed covers. This is one of my favorites, blue, azure blue, that is called once again, and that's just going to go in right there. I'm going to do my job, make sure I tidy up things while I prepare to pump out a lot of content. Like I said, I'm going to be focusing more on reacting to sewing content, reacting to a lot of the tips and tricks that's been proposed to you guys. Before I go, I'm just going to tell you this. If you have a white fabric, preferably what you want to do is to protect this extra, because white has a way of taking dust easily. You normally have put it in some bag, tie it up before keeping it, but because it's still in the middle of this stack, I'm just going to keep it right there, put some other fabric on the top, just like that. If you leave white alone, over time it's going to kind of grow brownish and you wouldn't like how it's going to look. I still have a lot of this brown right here, but definitely I'm going to be selling all these things, and recovering my money that has been tied up here. There's some adage in my country or in my culture that says wherever you have bought with money, it's going to be turned into money. So we're going to try to sell this. I don't mind running a special offer on my shop just to make sure that these inventories right here, these materials or these fabrics that I have, I'm able to sell them off and recover whatever money is locking here. On my eBay right now, I have about 25 colors of these pillow covers in different sizes. All right, I'm actually not playing the competition game where the prices are so cheap, because I realized that that wasn't just a sustainable way to do business. Those that like quality will always come around and pay a little bit more, and get the best quality which they deserve. How this video helps you, finds you well. If it does, please go ahead, click on the like button, ensure you are subscribed to the channel, and expect my reaction videos to come out anytime from now. Let's see you again in the next one. Peace out.